lovelies, how are you today? And welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and I'm the sole proprietor of SAEH Body Butter, and I hope you enjoy the next video. Thank you.
Hello lovelies, I'm about to do a multimedia project. On this white denim jacket, I'm going to, on the back of it, I'm going to do sublimation on top of glitter heat transfer vinyl. So I'm going to sublimate on the heat transfer vinyl, and then, so this is my jacket. This is the white glitter heat transfer vinyl that I'm going to sublimate on top of. And this is the chest board image that I'm going to sublimate on top of that. And then on top of the sublimation, I'm going to do rhinestones. And it says, Black Queen, the most powerful piece in the game. So I'm going to be applying rhinestones on top of my sublimated piece. So I've done rhinestones on top of sublimation, but this will be my first time doing sublimation on top of glitter heat transfer vinyl. So I thought I'd take you along for the ride. So my first thing is to apply the glitter on the back of the jacket. And I will only be tacking it down because I don't want to apply too much heat all at once, because we know that heat transfer vinyl has the tendency to shrink. So I'm going to cut this out. I need a 12 by 12 piece. I'm going to cut this out and I'm going to tack it down on the back of the jacket. I'm going to tack it down for about 2 to 3 seconds, just long enough for it to adhere to the jacket. And then on top of that, I will sublimate for the entire 60 seconds, wait for that to cool off, and then on top of that, I would apply my rhinestone template. So, let the fun begin. Okay, I've cut my glitter heat transfer vinyl in a 12 by 12 square, and I've placed it on the back of my jacket. Now, what I didn't take in consideration, that this jacket has a seam line on the right and left of my design, which is fitting on it. It's over top of it, so hopefully this vinyl will lay down without giving me a problem. I thought that it would go in the middle of the seams, but my design is too big, so here goes nothing. So I'm about to apply, I'm gonna tack this down. I have my heat press set at 320. I got medium pressure, and I'm gonna tack it down for about 3 seconds. Hopefully that's enough time, because like I said, I have to apply the sublimation, and then after the sublimation I have to apply the rhinestones. So let's see if that was enough time. Okay, the transfer sheet is coming up, so that was good. And it did go over there, but you can see the seam through the glitter. But I'm thinking that I'm going to have so much going on with this that it's not even going to matter when I finish. But again, like I said, I wished the design would have fit in the middle of the seam. So that laid down good. So what I'm going to need to do is line up my design. So I'm going to take it off the heat press so I can take it to the other table and line up my design. And then I also need to turn the heat press up to 385 for sublimation. So 385 for 60 seconds. And I tack down the glitter heat transfer vinyl 320 for 3 seconds. So let me get it set up over here. and take down the sublimation portion, and we will go to the next step. Okay, I've taken it off the heat press. Let me pull back the tape to see what we have. Hopefully it turned out right. My image, it messed up right here, and that's because of that seam right there. But like I said, it should be okay because I'm going to put rhinestones over top, and my rhinestone image will cover most of that. Well, so it shouldn't be that bad. So the next phase is for me to brush in the rhinestones. I was going to put this portion at the bottom, the most powerful piece in the game, but I think I'll put it, that part of the rhinestone, up here at the top, because I didn't take in consideration the seams of the back of the jacket, and it'll be too low down here. So I'm going to put this part up here, and then put Black Queen on top of the chessboard. So let me get my rhinestones together, and we will prep for the next state of this project. Okay, I've put the glitter heat transfer vinyl on the jacket. I've sublimated on that. So the third part of this is to do the rhinestones. So I think I'm going to do the Black Queen in red, and the most powerful piece in the game, I'm going to do that in black. And this is my favorite part of the project. I love working with hotfix rhinestones. So I'm going to spread some on, typically more than you think you're going to use, because them bumping up together helps push them in the spaces. And I'm using my rhinestone brush. In a former life, this was a painting tool. You know, painters use it to paint the edging around the wall and baseboards and stuff. And I'm just going into slow circular motions until I aim for about 90% of the holes being filled. Sometimes you may have success with 100%, but you don't want to continually brushing in just to get those few stones in, because then you can accidentally brush stones out of place. And then once you think you have an area secure, I kind of like tilt my brush and smoothly go over it to remove the excess stones. And as you see, as I'm removing the excess stones, there are a couple of areas where the stones didn't roll into place. But again, like I said, I shoot for about 90%, and then I go back in and hand place the rest. And sometimes you have to be careful with brushing off the excess, because you can accidentally uplift some of the stones that are in the hole. Okay, that looks good to me. So what I'm going to do is get my pick tool, my rhinestone pick tool, and I will go in and fill in the rest. And I do this every time. I'm supposed to change this because the stickiness is not as sticky as it was. And sometimes my rhinestones, they don't release. Now look at there. I got a crystal rhinestone in the group. So what I'll do is look on the template and find the extra rhinestones and place them in the holes. See, like right there, I picked the stone out of the hole. And to me, this is relaxing. And I typically don't show me cutting the template. I cut it using my Cricut Explore Air 2. And the reason why I don't show that portion is because it takes so long. With all these holes right here, this probably took about a good hour. I create my designs using Silhouette Studio, the business edition. You can create rhinestone designs, SVGs in there, and then what I do is upload it into Cricut because I do not have a Silhouette cutter. But like I said, I don't typically show that part of me cutting the template because it takes so long. And this color is called Cyan Red. I see another crystal one in there. I think I have a few more. And then once I think I got them all there, there's another crystal. Oh, I picked up a red one. Hopefully my head isn't in the way. So what I like to do is use the flashlight on my phone and scan it to make sure I got every circle, every hole has a rhinestone in it and that there's no extra. So far, so good. Oh, there's an extra one. Okay, it looks good. Everything is in place. I'm gonna brush these stones out the way so that they won't be in the way of my transfer tape. And that's something else that I always forget. I always tell myself to cut my transfer tape before I lay down the stones so I can have the correct size and I won't interfere with the stones that's in the template. I'm going to turn it around your way so you can see it better. Go slowly. Hopefully I don't bump it against nothing and bump any stones out of place. But that is the template. Black Queen. So I'm going to turn it back around. Get my transfer tape. And that's how you create a transfer. A rhinestone transfer. And I think that's the hardest part. It's not hard, but it's kind of nerve-wracking because you could mess up your whole design and have to start over if you don't lay that piece of transfer tape down right. And sometimes the transfer tape has static on it that it will cause the stones to lift up prematurely and get out of place and everything. But let me get my transfer tape and I'll bring you back. Okay, I have my piece of transfer tape, and this is specifically for hotfix rhinestones because you need it to be able to go under the heat. So I'm separating the transfer tape from the backing. And I like to put it in a U shape. And sometimes I misjudge and I'm not entirely over top of the entire template. But I like to go down in the center and then smooth it out. Whew. I tell you, I get nervous every time. You might not be able to see, but on this side, I came off of the template, and on this side I just made it. So what I'm going to do is add some more because, well, it might be good because I'm gonna put it on top of, back on top of the backing and put it to the side until I brush in the black portion of it. And I'm just moving my hands over it to make sure that the rhinestone is sticking to the tape before I pull it up. And I'm going to start on this side first because this side is sticking to this. Okay. Pulled it off the board, and sometimes a jerking motion can cause the rhinestones to shift. And I'm going slowly because I want to make sure that all of the rhinestones are sticking to the tape. See, there's one. I don't know if you can see that. Let me. Move the camera, and there's a stone right there that didn't want to come up. So what I'll do is put the tape back down and just apply a little more pressure in that area. And it came up that time. There's another. Oops. Now that one came off too soon. So, but that's a good thing. You can see some of the problems that you may encounter working with rhinestones. Let me back it up some. I might need to move my transfer tape over so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, these two stones right here didn't come up, and before I noticed it, I had already pulled the transfer tape up. So all I need to do is use my picker tool, and I see the two spaces that they came up out of, and I will attempt to put them in place without knocking any other stones out of place. Okay, that's one. Let me get another stone. If I can flip this one over, because this one needs to be on the back side. And try to do this left-handed. Okay. And move it into place without, come on stone, move over. Without bothering. Okay. Alright, get off my hand. Without bothering any of the other stones. Let me move my template out the way so that I can move the transfer over some. So, everything looks good. So, the backing of the transfer tape has a smooth side and a rough side. And you want to place your transfer tape, the backing, you want to place the transfer tape on the rough side of your transfer. And I'm trying to make sure that I line it up right, because like I said, on one side I was short. Okay, and then I'll just smooth it out so that the transfer tape can stick to the backing, and then I'll flip it over. And this is what you call a rhinestone transfer. You can create these, you can sell these. If you're going to ship them out, I would suggest putting 1 second chipboard in between, you know, each to the front and to the back of it, and tape it on the sides so that you know, it can ship securely. But anywho, I'm going to push this transfer to the side. And then I'm going to brush in the stones to the other portion of it. Okay, so like I said, this portion is going to be black, jet black at that. And the process is the same. I pour a little more than I think I need, go in slow circle motions. And when I think 90% of it is covered, I will brush off the excess and then apply the transfer tape. Okay, that looks about 90% to me. Like I said, I don't like to keep on brushing because I might knock what's already in out. And you have to be careful when you brush off the excess. 1 second, please. Had to close my door. The family is making noise. Okay, I think I got most of the stones brushed out of place, and I'll go again with my pick tool and remove those excess stones and place them where they didn't fall into place for me. Hopefully I'm in view. Okay, I think that is it. I just have some extra stones I need to clear out of the way. Okay, I think that is it. Let me turn it around for you, while at the same time brushing these stones out the way so that I can put them back in the jar. Let me get my phone so I can check with the light. Okay, that looks good. Alrighty, let me get my transfer tape and brush these stones out, and I'll bring you back. Okay, I have a piece of transfer tape. The first part, that transfer tape was brand new. This one is a piece of used transfer tape. You can use it a few times. I can't remember how many times I've used this piece. I'm thinking it's still good since I still have it. So we shall see. Now that one didn't go too well. Some of my stones lifted up. But all you have to do, let me move you in closer. All you have to do is, while you have the tape over, is take your finger and push them back into the allotted space. It looks like I got an extra stone on here, and I don't know why, because I looked at it with the light and everything looked okay. Let me make sure that I push every stone back in place, that it makes sense, because this is a small print, so it has to fall in place right, or else it's not gonna make sense. Okay, I'm pushing down to make sure that it sticks. Okay. Making sure that everything is in place before I pull this tape up. Okay, I have a extra stone on this L, so I can pull that off when I pull up the transfer tape. And again, this is my backing. Alrighty, let's see how we go here. Go slow, especially with this piece, because like I said, it's used, so it might not have as much tackiness as the first piece that I used, but so far so good. Well, good, that extra stone stayed down, so I don't have to worry about moving it out the way. Sometimes the stone will lay on top of each other and it's hard to see. Okay, that's my transfer. I want to lay this on top. Okay, I think that's the right size. Smooth it out so that the tape can stick to it. And I'll flip it over and show you the transfer. And that's that transfer. Okay, so let me get the heat press ready, and I will this will be a 2-part press, because my heat press is a 15 by 15 and my design exceeds that size. So let me move the camera over to the heat press, and I will show you me pressing the design. Okay, I have the top portion of the jacket on the heat press. I have it set for 350 degrees. I'm going to do an initial press to get out the moisture for about 5 seconds, but the heat press is set for 350 degrees, and I will take it down for 15 seconds. So let me get the my rhinestone transfer. Okay, I'm going to pull my transfer off the backing and gently place it in the center, eyeballing it. That looks even. Put the Teflon sheet over, because there's portions of the jacket that isn't covered. Let me see, making sure that it is under the press. Okay. We're going down for 15 seconds. And it's a hot peel when it's finished. Well, at least cool off enough for you to touch the transfer tape. Woo. That transfer sheet is hot. And I like to go slow to make sure all of the stones adhered to the garment. Okay. Alrighty, now I have to move the jacket back so hopefully I can push it back far enough that that portion is not under the heat press. And I think I should be good. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll take the Black Queen transfer and try to align it, center it on the garment without knocking any stones out of place. Okay, it looks to be centered. Yeah, I want to make sure. I really can't see underneath the heat press, so I'm going to turn on the flashlight of my phone. To make sure that it's centered and also to make sure it's aligned. Okay, it looks good. And I'm going to put a piece of butcher paper over top because again we're dealing with that sublimation ink. And this will go down again at 350 for 15 seconds. Okay. Go slow. One, because it's hot, and two, I want to make sure that all of the rhinestones adhered to the garment. And they did. Now I will put this piece of transfer tape back on the backing because this was the first time I used it, so I can use it again. Now what I like to do is go down and press it again. For about 5 seconds just to make sure it adhered. You don't want no stones coming off in the wash. Okay. That part is good. And then I'm going to go back and press the top part. That heat press is hot. I don't know if you can tell it or not, but right here, let me get in close. Right here, one of my stones came off. Well, I pulled it off because it was still hot, and that stone had shifted underneath the sheet, and I didn't notice it until I pulled it up. So I'm going to put a stone in place. It's in place. I don't want to use that piece of butcher paper in case it has any ink on it. So I'm going to try to put it over top as not to move it again. And I'm going to take that down for 15 seconds so it can get that stone. And then I'll show you the entire back of the jacket. Okay, let me get it set up somewhere where you can see the entire jacket. Okay, that's the top portion, and I'm slowly going down.